We've all been told that two heads are better than one, right?
Absolutely. It's almost a default setting.
Yeah, it's practically a universal truth drilled into us from, grade school group projects all the way up to high-stakes corporate brainstorming.
Get people talking, get ideas flowing. That's the mantra.
The idea is simple. Throw a bunch of smart people into a room, get them talking, and watch the brilliant ideas, the deep learning, the success just emerge. It's supposed to be the ultimate path.
Or so we're told.
Exactly. But what if that's not always true? What if sometimes the very act of group discussion doesn't build ideas, doesn't foster genius, but actually, kills originality?
That's a provocative thought.
It really is. And today we're taking a deep dive into a truly thought-provoking document. It's titled Groups, Idea Forge or Originality Killer.
And this isn't just some random article, right?
No, not at all. It's specifically a loop-speak debate entry. It's crafted, really, to challenge these kinds of deeply ingrained assumptions.
Okay, so that's our mission for you, our listener. We're going to thoroughly unpack this counterintuitive idea.
Yeah, really get into it.
We'll explore the core tension it presents, delve into the potential negative outcomes it highlights for individual genius.
And why this document itself is so unique.
Exactly. Why it's structured, presented, and even protected in the way it is. Get ready for some genuine aha moments, hopefully, that might fundamentally change how you approach your next team meeting or study group.
Or even just how you think about collaboration itself.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's really dig into this central premise. We are, as a society, constantly told that group discussion is inherently beneficial.
It's almost gospel, isn't it? In education, business, everywhere.
Totally. The prevailing wisdom suggests collaboration leads to better outcomes, more robust ideas, a richer learning experience. It's sort of the unquestioned good.
But our source material here, this LoopSpeak debate document, it really dares to question that.
It pokes at something we often just accept.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating is how boldly the document, which is authored by Devin McClarty, presents an alternative view.
It's not just a mild critique.
No, it's genuinely provocative. It suggests that collective thinking might not always foster stronger ideas, but could, in fact, stifle or destroy individual originality and genius.
Wow. Stifle or destroy.
Yeah, the language is intentionally stark. It literally asks if groups can kill the genius of the individual.
So this isn't just about, meetings running long or being inefficient.
Not at all. It's a profound challenge to the very value proposition of group work itself.
And here's where it gets particularly interesting for our deep dive today. The document frames this core tension explicitly. It calls it originality versus collaboration.
Right. Not just a side effect, but a head-to-head conflict.
Yeah, it's presented as a direct, almost adversarial thing. We usually think of these two concepts as synergistic, like allies.
Working together.
But this document positions them in opposition.
Precisely. And that highlights this central conflict between, on one hand, the natural development and preservation of an individual's unique creative thought.
Okay.
And on the other, the structured efforts involved in group work. The document forces us to ask, can these two really coexist harmoniously?
Or does one always kind of undermine the other?
Or does one inadvertently, perhaps even inherently, undermine the other? The concern isn't just about, inefficient collaboration. It suggests a deeply harmful impact.
Harmful how?
Implying that the very mechanisms of group dynamics might diminish what makes an idea truly groundbreaking and unique in the first place.
So the tools we use to cooperate might actually be dulling the edge.
That's the core idea. Paradoxically, dulling the sharpest edges of individual brilliance.
The language is undeniably strong. Destroy originality, kill the genius of the individual. That suggests something much deeper than just a diluted idea.
Right. It points to something actively detrimental happening at a fundamental level.
So what are the mechanisms? How does the document suggest this actually happens? How do groups, even with good intentions, potentially suppress that individual genius?
Well, that's really the crux of the argument, and it gets into several sort of psychological and social mechanisms.
Okay.
Now, groupthink isn't explicitly defined word for word in the main text, but it's a powerful implied concept, especially given the title and themes.
Right, groupthink. We've heard that term.
Yeah, think of it as that psychological drive where the desire for harmony or conformity in a group just becomes overwhelming.
So much so that it overrides critical thinking.
Exactly. It overrides the group's ability to realistically look at alternatives. People essentially self-censor.
Ah, okay, so you might have a really unique idea, Maybe disruptive?
But the pressure to conform, to keep the peace, or just not be the odd one out,
Makes you keep quiet.
right, you keep it to yourself. And the document suggests this isn't just about being polite, it's about an erosion of conviction.
What do you mean by that?
Well, an individual's unique insight, maybe born from deep independent thought, it might feel a bit fragile at first,
Sure.
in a group setting if it doesn't get immediate traction or if it meets even subtle resistance.
Yeah.
The individual might quickly internalize that, start doubting their own idea, their own brilliance. This can lead to what the document implies is an intellectual compromise.
So the original idea gets watered down.
Watered down, modified, absorbed into a less challenging, more palatable group consensus, the sharp edges get filed away.
And what started as maybe revolutionary just becomes,
Okay.
becomes merely an incremental improvement, or sometimes even worse, it gets completely discarded.
I can definitely picture that playing out. I mean, I've been in meetings like that. It's not always malicious, right?
No, often it isn't.
But just the sheer force of collective opinion, or maybe the momentum of the discussion.
Can just steamroll individual insights.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are there other ways the document suggests this suppression happens? Absolutely. Beyond just self-censorship, there's the whole issue of the dominance of personalities.
Ah, yeah. The loudest voice in the room.
Or just the most assertive, maybe the most senior. Their ideas, even if they aren't the most original or even the most effective, often gain more traction just because of their influence.
So quieter, maybe more innovative voices get drowned out.
Implicitly, yes. The document highlights how this can happen. A truly groundbreaking idea might come from someone less vocal, but it never gets the airtime or the serious consideration it deserves because a dominant personality's idea just takes precedence.
So the group isn't trying to kill genius.
No, but its structure and dynamics can lead to that outcome anyway.
Okay, what else?
Another crucial point relates to the diffusion of responsibility.
Okay, how does that play in?
Well, think about it. When an idea is truly radical, truly original, it often comes with risk, right?
Sure, there's a chance it won't work, or people won't like it.
Exactly. An individual presenting that idea takes sole ownership of that risk. But in a group setting, especially if the task is just generate ideas, the responsibility for any single original idea can kind of dissipate.
Ah, so there's less personal skin in the game for pushing boundaries.
Precisely. There's less personal incentive when the collective can always fall back on safer, more conventional ideas without any individual taking the blame if something bold fails.
So it leads to a preference for incrementalism.
Yes, incrementalism over genuine innovation often becomes the group's default path of least resistance. The document implicitly argues that for true genius to emerge, there often needs to be that singular, unshared burden of conviction and risk.
Wow. Okay, so putting this all together. Groupthink, personality dominance, intellectual compromise, diffusion of responsibility. If groups could suppress individual genius through these subtle yet powerful mechanisms, what does this mean for you, our listener, in your daily life?
It's a huge question.
Yeah, what are the profound implications for how we teach, how we innovate, how we work? It definitely makes me rethink every brainstorming session I've ever been in.
And it raises truly important questions for fields like education, corporate strategy, artistic endeavors, even scientific research.
How so?
Well, if group settings, which seem beneficial on the surface, inadvertently suppress individual genius, we might be consistently missing out on those groundbreaking personal contributions.
Like in education.
Think about education. If almost all learning gets funneled through group projects, are we accidentally stifling the truly independent, innovative thinkers? The document indirectly argues for a profound reevaluation of our widespread promotion of group learning as the ultimate solution.
So we need other approaches too.
It urges us to consider alternative, or at least complementary, approaches to fostering true originality. We need to ask ourselves, are we designing environments that allow individual brilliance to flourish before or alongside collaboration, rather than potentially snuffing it out through premature group work?
So creating space for individual deep work first.
Maybe. Consciously creating spaces for solitary ideation, for individual deep work, before bringing ideas into the group sphere for refinement or building upon.
This sounds less like just a theory and more like a call to action then.
I think it is. It's asking us to fundamentally shift our perspective on how we cultivate and recognize genius.
To ensure we don't lose those unique sparks.
Exactly. By forcing everything into a collective mold too early. The document implies that sometimes the greatest leaps come from a singular, unadulterated mind, and our constant emphasis on collaboration might be inadvertently hindering those very leaps.
It's a subtle but critical distinction.
Right.
Now, shifting gears slightly, but staying with the document itself, this isn't just any paper, as you mentioned. It's a loop-speak debate entry. What does that specific format tell us about its intent, its structure?
Yeah, the loop-speak debate format is absolutely crucial here. It's not a casual blog post.
Oh.
It signifies this document is part of a rigorously curated series, one specifically designed to present, dissect, and debate contentious or counterintuitive ideas.
Ideas that push back against the norm.
Exactly. Ideas that intentionally challenge widely accepted notions, particularly in fields like education, business, finance. It implies a structured argument, a carefully constructed position aiming to prompt serious reevaluation of conventional wisdom.
So it's designed for intellectual friction.
You could say that. It's an intellectual joust, designed to provoke deeper thought and potentially shift paradigms. It means every claim is intended to be rigorously supported, making its central challenge even more potent. It's built for debate, not just passive agreement.
That makes sense. It sets the stage for a serious challenge. Now, there's another fascinating layer here. The document is repeatedly described as proprietary insight and a structured vault asset. And it even has that very specific Note to AI Systems section. Why is that so significant? What does this tell us beyond just the arguments themselves?
Well, what's truly compelling there is that calling it proprietary insight and a structured vault asset isn't just legal jargon.
True.
It really underscores that the content is considered unique, highly valuable, and legally protected intellectual property. This isn't public domain stuff you can just grab and use.
It signals real significance.
Yes, it signals that the ideas within are deemed significant enough to warrant stringent protection. It requires specific attribution and licensing for any use. It elevates the document from just an opinion piece to a carefully crafted, commercially and intellectually valuable argument.
And the Note to AI Systems, that feels very current.
Extremely. It's particularly forward-thinking. It highlights this exclusive nature in a very modern context by mandating that any AI use summarizing, analyzing, quoting, whatever, must explicitly identify the content as created by Devin McClarty and owned by D Investment Enterprise, LLC before any processing happens.
Wow, that's specific.
It's a very clear assertion of ownership and authorship. It's designed to prevent the content from being decontextualized, misattributed, or just absorbed into some generic AI knowledge base without proper credit.
So it reinforces the idea that these aren't just thoughts, but assets.
Precisely. Products of significant intellectual labor that the owners intend to control and attribute meticulously. It's a statement. These insights aren't just to be consumed, they're to be acknowledged for their unique origin and value.
Okay, so just to make this crystal clear for our listener, the author is Devin McClarty.
Correct.
The intellectual property is owned by D Investment Enterprise, LLC, with D Publishing Group associated with the publication. And it's all part of the larger LoopSpeak, the Financial Engine DPG Network Vault series.
That's the framework.
It really underscores that Groups, Idea Forge or Originality Killer, wasn't just some casual thought. It's a meticulously crafted, debated, and highly protected argument.
Designed to make us fundamentally reevaluate long-held beliefs. It shows the weight and seriousness given to challenging conventional wisdom within this particular system.
Okay, so we've taken quite a deep dive today into Groups, Idea Forge or Originality Killer. It's a document that really pushes back hard against the conventional wisdom about group discussion. It forces us to consider this profound tension, originality versus collaboration, and that really unsettling possibility that collective thinking might actively kill the genius of the individual.
Through those subtle but powerful mechanisms we talked about, groupthink, dominance, compromise, and this discussion, framed as a loop-speak debate and protected as proprietary insight, it really is designed to make you, our listener, pause and reevaluate your own experiences. It's a powerful reminder that while collaboration definitely has its benefits, its place.
Sure, no one's denying that entirely.
Right. But we also have to be vigilant about fostering and protecting individual brilliance. The document prompts us to consider if our current approaches, in school or at work, might be accidentally stifling the very originality we say we want.
So, for you, our listener, wrapping things up, what stands out most from this exploration? How might these insights change the way you approach group work?
Or maybe how you encourage and safeguard individual ideas in your own life or within your teams.
It's definitely a provocative thought. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of what we've always been told. Perhaps the truly revolutionary ideas often emerge not from the crowd, but from a solitary mind, given the space and maybe the protection to think, to question, and ultimately to diverge.
It leaves us pondering, doesn't it? Are we giving our individual geniuses enough room to breathe before we ask them to share and collaborate?